This is the first for this channel. It's my first tech review. With me today I have the Insta360 It's affordable 360 camera. It's about $300 for this bad boy. In this video I'm just going to do an unboxing of it, show you what's going on, a rundown of how the in-app editing software works, talk about what I like about it, what I don't, and then just talk about quirks, kind of things that I think could be improved. And then hopefully you'll get a good sense of what the capabilities of the camera are, and if it's a 360 camera that you want to experiment with. So getting into things, here is my little unboxing and preview of some of the editing. Alright, so here's the unboxing of the Insta360 Inside it comes obviously the camera in its little carrying case. It's kind of like a plastic sleeve for it. It just protects the lenses pretty much. They slide in there. They slide in semi-easily. If you mess it up though, it takes a little finagling to get it just right. And once you do, it slides in perfectly. But if you mess it up, you can kind of smudge the lenses, which is a little unfortunate with the rubber on the inside. What's kind of cool about the case though is on the other side, it has an indent for the camera and a little plastic plug that'll go into the tripod mount of the camera. And it pops in there and you press it down a little, and it's pretty secure. I mean, you can see it's not falling out here, but it's not threaded in there and not the most secure, but it's nice that if you wanted to, you could just take it out and have it something to set on. The camera itself just has one button here. Press it once and the camera turns on. Give it 2 clicks and it'll start filming, and 3 clicks is set up as bullet mode for the bullet shooting. You can program that, however, so that it is either time-lapse or self-timer, so for the camera. The bottom, like we said, is the threaded tripod mount. Right next to that is an SD card slot, which is an interesting location. I've sometimes had trouble getting the SD card out just because of how indented it is there, and it's hard for me to get my fingers in there. Not too much of a problem, but it can be. Down at the bottom we have a reset button right here. Right next to that is the charging port, and next to that is the lightning cable connector. So that just pops in there, which is nice. It's not sticking out all the time. You just pull the switch back and pops out. That is pretty much it for the camera itself. You can see the 2 lenses on each side. It is a little fat, and so your stitching zone is a little bit funky sometimes, but they're offset to supposedly help with that a little bit. Inside the box you have line for the bullet timing. It comes with a little mount that mounts into the tripod mount, screws into the tripod mount, just your charger cord, and then pack it with all the good stuff. Lens cloth, bullet timing, infographic, warranty card, and then a quick start in about 100 languages. I'm just going to do a brief overview of what the Insta360 does with the iPhone, since I don't want to get too in depth and make this a complete tutorial. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you a few things that I like and that it is capable of doing. So you take your iPhone and you plug the Insta360 in. The camera will turn itself on and ask you if you would like to open the app. And of course you hit allow. Here you can see we have a live view, which is really useful. There we are with the camera. That's really nifty. You can control shoot photo, video, live streaming, or you can do the Little Planet live streaming, which gives you a whole crazy view. The main page is an explore page. It shows featured videos, recent videos, and people you're following. It's pretty similar to Instagram format with comments, liking, and showing things like that. You can head to your album where you can see videos and photos and bullet timing that you have shot that are saved onto the camera and on your phone. Just a quick rundown of some of the stuff that you can do editing wise. If you hold, that's how you get stuff to work. We can do viewfinder, and basically it records the view for you, and you can zoom out to that little planet, zoom back in, and then it records it so that when you play back the video without having to touch it, it'll take that view for you. Another one that I like is the pivot point. So you hold down again, press pivot point, it'll drop a location there, and that's saying that's where you want the camera to focus. Then you can go a few seconds later and then go to another point, hold it down, click pivot point, and then when you play it, it'll pan really smoothly for you. So then the third editing feature that there is Smart Track. So I'm in the corner of this video here, place a marker on myself and say Smart Track, and the video is going to play while tracking me, panning to make sure that I am in the shot at all times, and then I pick it up, and then you can play it back and watch it. it makes small adjustments to look up. But I find that if the object is moving quickly, it has a hard time tracking it, and so it'll stop, and then you just have to reset it back on there. It just takes a little bit longer, but it works pretty well. You can do other things like set filters in the editing software. You can trim video. When you're using the phone, you can connect it via Bluetooth. While the camera is not connected, it doesn't show a live feed, which is kind of a bummer, but you can control time lapses, photos, videos, and things like that. You also can't do live video, which is unfortunate from unless you're connected to the iPhone. And that's pretty much the unboxing and a little short demonstration of the camera. Okay, so after watching that, hopefully you got an idea of how to use the camera a little bit. You know, I didn't want to go into too in-depth of a tutorial of it. You know, just kind of want to give you my thoughts on the camera and a brief overview of it. So what I like about this camera is that it's pretty compact and pretty simple to use. The editing software does take a little bit to get used to, but it does some cool things. So the camera can obviously shoot 360. That's probably its main selling point, but you don't necessarily need to use it for 360 shooting all the time. You know, 360 only has some applications in Facebook, and YouTube can handle the 360 where you get to use VR or just use your mouse to look around. But you know, if you're making a traditional video, you might not want to just throw a 360 shot in there, but this camera might still have things to offer to you. What I liked was the smart tracking, so you can save that as like a regular video, just a regular, you know, shot. It looks like a flat shot, and with that you can follow an object. If you're shooting by yourself, this is really useful because you plant the camera down, you're not going to miss a shot because it's shooting everywhere, and so you can get a pan effect with either the smart track or the points that you drop and have the camera pan to. So if you're running by or going by or something, you can get a nice pan without controlling the camera and having to pan yourself, which I think is really cool and probably how I would use it most if I had this camera. The recording of where you choose the view, the tiny planet, I'm not really sure when that is. Just maybe a cool thing. I don't know when I would use that, but it's there. You can use it. I do like that when you use it with the phone, you do get a preview of what you're shooting, which is useful, but it's kind of weird to hold the phone and you're only connected by the lightning adapter or the lightning plug, and it's not that sturdy. So holding the camera just by itself or on a tripod or a selfie stick or something is sturdier and you can do more. Again, another kind of maybe gimmicky thing is the bullet shooting. It's cool if you're doing something. I've seen videos of people snowboarding with it, and it does offer a cool effect, kind of like those big long sticks that go off a helmet or something for a GoPro would look like, or maybe even having a drone around you. So that's cool, and I could see some sport applications for that, but just your general filming, again, not super necessary. As far as the in-app editing goes, it is pretty simple. There's not a whole lot of tutorials in the app. It wasn't super clear of what it was trying to tell me to do, and it was trying to tell me how to edit stuff, and the manual doesn't really tell you how to do that stuff either. I finally figured it out. But once you get it down, it's pretty simple. The desktop editing software for this is atrocious, I'll be honest. There are parts of it that are cut off, you can't read, and you can't change the size of the window, so I had no idea what this one part said where it's telling me to pick a point in a frame because it got cut off by another part of the software and I couldn't move it. You don't have control of the points as far as I'm aware. Exporting on that desktop app takes a really long time. It's faster if you edit it on your phone, export it to your albums as an MP4, and then either AirDrop or use a cable to move it to your PC. So that's something I didn't really like. Another thing I mentioned in the unboxing I don't really like is that if you put the lens in wrong, it really smudges the lens. You get some of the rubber from in here on there, and that's a pain in the butt because it's really hard to get off the lenses and it can cause a smudge when you're filming. I also wish that when you're controlling the camera via Bluetooth from your iPhone or a compatible Android, that you could see what you were doing. I think that'd be really cool, and I think that hopefully in a future update of the app they will offer that, because that'd be really useful for sure for remote shooting. Other than that, I think it's a pretty cool tool if you're interested in getting into 360. I think the 360 shooting world is in its infancy, in that there are going to be a lot more techniques developed and applications that it can be used in. So if you want to get like a little small jump on it, get ahead of the game a little bit, you could pick one of these up for only $300. It's not going to take a huge chunk out of your pocket, and practice some and maybe be ahead of the curve as the 360 filming industry kind of develops. So it's a cool toy. It offers some practical things that are in line with how filming goes today in regards to that panning and tracking and stuff, which is cool. And then of course it offers bullet shooting and 360 video, the big one, which are kind of innovative. I hope you enjoyed this tech review. I hope it was a little bit helpful. I hope I gave some good information, and if you thought so, it'd be awesome if you could subscribe, and hopefully I'll get my hands on some more cool tech that I can review in the future. Thanks for checking it out, and I'll see you next Sunday at 12 p.m. I accidentally deleted this video twice. This is the third time I'm reshooting it. Is better work.